hell are you talking about? Hey, there we go.
Hey, now I hear something.
Okay.
That's the sound you wanted to hear. Good evening and welcome to the Get Social Radio Show, where your community and their business come together. Today is November 4th, 2010, and we are broadcasting live from the KIT TV station here in beautiful, chilly, maybe is it rain? Is it hail? What is it out there today?
It's spitting.
It's spitting. It's a little chilly.
It is a little drizzly.
Yes.
So welcome to the Get Social Radio Show. We have with us, I'm your host, Mike McDermott. As always, my co-host, Greg Enslin. And to my right, we have Joelle Nevins.
Hello.
Nice.
She's our news neighbor.
Yes. Hey, what are you doing there, Mike? You fading out the music on
She's
your
going to
own?
be, absolutely.
That's pretty sweet. Do you need me to turn any of these knobs here?
No knobs
What?
need to be turned.
Okay, because it's in front of me this week, and I don't know what.
No, isn't that funny?
It's
Guys,
an-
guess what?
It's an invitation for me to touch these things. So I'm at some point we may lose all audio. Just,
Touch the buttons?
Yeah, the knobs.
Okay.
The knobs
I've
and
got
the
knobs
levers.
in front of me. You
Levers.
know, I can't stop the. I got to
And
touch
yet we
it.
still blame Xander. Got
Yes,
it.
we
Got it.
do. What's
Anyways,
this one
guess
doing,
what?
Mike?
What, Joelle, since you're on camera?
Hey, how are you over there?
Well, I had my first official, actually second, celebrity TV sighting.
What?
When I went in to vote, actually, one of the ladies, she either works at the library or the church. I think she does both. But I'm walking through the hallway, and she's like, oh, there's the girl from TV. It's like,
Was she talking about the
I
Get
felt-
Social show?
yes. Well, unless
Really?
I was on Cops, but I don't remember that.
You weren't on
so.
Cops.
I was very excited. Who knew? There are
Who-
more people that watch us than us. So
Well, that
that's
yeah,
good.
that like triples the amount of people I thought were watching. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Did she ask you for your autograph?
No, I just kept walking. Had to be cool.
Yeah.
Did
know?
you like cover your eyes like
You're like,
paparazzi?
Hey,
Leave
I
me
probably
alone.
smiled pretty big. So.
that's
Did
the
you?
girl from TV.
Hey, that's a TV girl.
Well, I had to do a miniature thing. I was like, from what? Oh, yes,
Oh,
I am.
yeah,
okay.
exactly. Which TV do you mean? Like the news? Was I on the news or something?
So I'm like, So
Well,
that
I'm
was it. Just wanted to
I'm
share.
glad you were seen. on
I
TV.
saw her voting. She was voting in the line next to.
Did
she
you
was in the line in
actually
front of me.
see me voting?
You
or
were
you just,
you were two over from me. I was in
why
line.
didn't you say hello?
Because your back was turned and you were like hunched over the voting machine. I'm not going to bother you. That's like that's like a sacred
It's against
moment.
the law.
When I
I
walked
can't
out,
even say hi.
this was the same hallway where I was sighted, so you could have said hello in the hallway.
By the time you left, I was voting, and I'm not going to be
Oh,
bothered when
okay.
I'm voting. No,
Right,
Because I've got to
right.
click.
He was in the zone.
You were doing all the socialists, though. I saw it. You were like,
There was only like one socialist on there.
I know.
think.
That's cool when you see that.
When I saw that I was looking through the
It's like a little red
League of
hat.
Women
Let's-
Voters voter guide, and I see socialist, and one of the girls I tutor, I'm working with her on the Soviet Republic and the Socialist Party and the Communist Party, and I'm like, I didn't know we still had a socialist
There
party
you
in the
go.
United States. Who knew?
Well, we do.
It was good. At least be happy you're not in Alaska. They had to vote. They had a list of 140 people they had to pick from.
That would be difficult.
Yeah, they had to like scroll through this whole list to find
Anybody
the person they wanted to
can. Anybody
Because
can. run.
anybody can be written in as long as you get your name in the last like
Mhm.
14 days or
Yeah.
something.
Are you
like that.
serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, and one of the Tea Party candidates, one of the things that are currently contested right now, I forget what state that is.
I think it's Alaska.
Is it Alaska?
Yeah.
All of her, she's leading, and she's a write-in candidate.
Yeah, she's the writing candidate, and she's leading.
She's a write-in. You
Well,
had
but
to
if you
literally
think about it,
spell her
though-
name right. She's got like Wachowski or something.
no,
Yeah,
no,
it's, like,
she's the one that
crazy
gave
last
out.
name.
She's the one that
Yeah.
gave out the wristbands with
So
her
you-
name spelled on it
so
correctly,
you remember
so
how
you
to
knew how to
spell it.
write her name in. And then somebody else said, "Hey, that's a great idea," and they encouraged
No.
139 other people to go.
That's
get
the
on
power of freedom there.
on the ballot.
I'm
so that's why
telling
they
you
had
what.
to. You had
Well, you got to
140
think too.
names.
If you have 140 people, and Alaska's not a very populous state, so that means you're only getting a few votes per person. So you could have, probably 10, 20 votes and be a majority.
Right, and the problem
Mhm.
with Alaska is that they count all the write-in first to see who qualifies to be in the actual election, and then they go back and recount everything.
Mm.
So it's a two-step thing. They said they
That's
may
just
not
so
know
fantastic.
who the person
Yeah.
is until like Christmas.
Yeah, because everyone that had to vote for the write-in candidate literally had to either know that person or interact with that person that was the candidate to know that name, right?
Right.
And versus today, our lazy democracy where you kind of go and you get the ballot
Mm-hmm.
and it says everybody's party and go, well, I remember. I think I'm a Republican, so I just go and I tick all the R's, and I did my duty.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. And then you don't
This
have to
is
do
way
any
more
work.
than doing your duty. You literally had to spell this woman's name right to
You had
get
to
her
actually
on.
write it.
Yeah.
I know. I
Yeah.
can't be bothered
I
to make that kind of effort.
I thought you said though that they had to be on the ballot. It was like 14 hours ahead of
14
time.
days. Yeah. They had
14
to-
days
days.
ahead of time.
So
Right.
there, a bunch
So
of
wouldn't
people,
they have been on the ballot then?
a bunch of people ran out and registered to be on the ballot 2 weeks before the election to kind of muddy the waters, so it would be hard to find that person.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So you don't actually have to write it in if you're scrolling through 140 different names, because the 140 names are the ones that are already registered, right?
I don't know. I have no idea.
The people with paper ballots. Well, they have paper ballot. So the people with paper ballot didn't get the opportunity to have that list of all those names. They had to actually write them in if they
Okay.
weren't a major party. So
Got it.
It's very confusing. It's crazy when the state of Alaska's system is less advanced than on Facebook. You just like something and then it's done. You get
Yeah.
one vote and it's finished. And up there, they're going to still be trying to figure out who the senator is or who the governor is for weeks.
For that situation, I'd feel really bad for the people who were involved in the race. Like you're already, hyped up and nervous and whatever, and
Yeah.
now you got to wait like 3 more weeks, and maybe
Well,
you'll be it, maybe not. I'd be
Yeah, and
like,
imagine campaigning, Joelle. No, I mean, in order to get to any of the major cities outside of Juneau, you've got to fly. You have to be on a little airplane.
On a little airplane.
And then
Yeah.
you go
Which
in
may or
and
may
they
not
land on a
crash.
little tiny landing strip,
That's ice. Yeah.
right? And there's been several governors that literally have perished
Yeah,
in those
that's-
little airplanes
yeah, you don't
because
want
they need to go and campaign. Yeah, because they campaign.
There's no roads between some of the major cities. You have to fly.
You have
well,
to fly
yes,
to
I was
get-
talking about the governors perishing. They actually
Yeah.
have had.
Last year,
literally
one of them
have
died.
perished. Yeah.
And I think it was the head of the NASA. Wasn't he playing with him?
Yes.
And he lived
Yeah.
or something. It was
Mhm.
weird.
So why in Tip City, Ohio, are we talking about Alaska's election?
Because it's one of the two that are still outstanding. I think it's interesting.
Oh, okay.
Washington State still they haven't figured out who the senator is yet either from there
Mm. Yep.
because it's so close, too close to call.
Now, speaking of people here, in the Dayton Daily paper, there was I think it was the Montgomery County Commissioner that they were on the same thing between Kelly and the guy. Did they just solve that one yet? I'm gonna look up the names officially.
I don't
That's
know.
not-
I don't know anything about that.
We don't.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Don't know.
Look, I'm like flipping the newspaper.
Look at you. You're so
Yes,
like advanced.
it is the Montgomery Commission between Foley and Kelly.
Mm.
So they still haven't been able to call that one yet either.
I don't know. Why don't you look up that during in our other segment? And then when we get back to the news,
You forget
you can,
we're not in Big Robot, and I don't have an iPhone, so
Oh,
I've got
that's
no
right.
way to
okay.
look
well,
up anything.
I'll look it up for you while we're
Thanks.
away. Who is it again?
I
So
think,
look, see, I'm tying it back in for you. That's what
I
I'm
think
trying
the
to do,
Democrat
guys.
actually won that race.
Who is
whoever
it?
that is. Is that Foley?
Foley.
Yeah, I think the Democrat.
I'll look
is
it up
Foley.
for you.
Yeah,
And
Foley. I
in
think
the-
Foley is like edging closer.
Oops, no, that's not what I wanted.
Okay.
But what do I know?
Mike, I missed being on the show.
I missed you too, Greg.
Were you on the? Did you guys really lie to me? And
I
say,
just tune in and I watch our show if we're not on the show.
Okay, but there wasn't a show. You didn't lie to me and say there was. Greg, we're on repeat. And
No.
then-
Now, see, I was nervous that I was going to come up tonight, and you guys would have decided to cancel. And
That
just
would
been
have been
like,
funny.
Joelle.
You'd have been the only one here.
No, we would have had Jack Bowder here to tape that. That would have been
Yes,
funny.
he'd have been here. He'd have been here. Doing
You all
the
have been
video.
hiding in the wings with like the ghost sheet on to come out.
Oh,
Ghost
yeah.
sheet. That's
No,
scary.
he's got like a Blues Brothers action going on. He put the
Nice.
sunglasses on.
I like.
Yeah.
It's good. Well, I'm glad we're back. Are we back? Are we not
We
back
are-
next week?
We're back. We're back next week.
Okay, so
and then
next
we
week's
take
is-
another 2-week hiatus.
Come on.
So we're not really back.
Why?
Take a Thanksgiving weekend, and there's like the board meeting for Kit TV. We somehow scheduled this on board meeting.
On Beggar's
Day.
Night. Wow. Okay. Well, there you go.
So
Well, I'm glad we're back next.
And
So
we have
next
to
week's a live
yeah.
show.
Well,
Come
do
down
they
and sit
have
in
an-
the studio audience.
Do they have
right?
a different conference room that they can use?
No.
I mean, this isn't really a very feasible room for meeting anyway.
No, I don't think so.
they
They can meet downstairs
you know.
in that big giant conference room that's downstairs.
Well, maybe if we're like a really popular show one day,
Yeah. So
No.
then we'll be taking the week.
they'll
the
be like,
week off.
"Sorry, we can't take away from that."
Yes.
Who am I looking up here on Dayton Daily News? What am I doing? here?
Foley.
Dan Foley,
Foley.
Foley.
Yes.
Okay, I'll let you know.
Okay.
All right. Well, while Greg's looking this up, why don't we go ahead and roll to a commercial, and then we'll get our special guest on.
Wow, already?
I'm looking forward to
I'm
this.
hungry.
If you're hungry, you'll stay tuned.
Do we get to eat them too?
No, we just get to look at him.
No, we get to look at the food.
It's just a picture.
We're not eating.